Will Iran strike back? The death that could start World War III. One night, one missile strike, and the world changed forever. The United States and Israel launched a precision strike deep inside Iranian territory, and when the smoke cleared, the supreme leader of Iran was dead. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the man who ruled Iran for over 3 decades, the man who called America the Great Satan until his final breath, was gone. But he didn't die alone. His daughter, his son-in-law, his grandchildren, his top military commanders, 40 people, wiped out in a single night. And now, millions are flooding the streets. Some are weeping, some are celebrating, and the entire world is holding its breath, asking one question: will Iran strike back? Here's what you need to understand first. This is not just the death of a political leader. Iran is not just a country. For over 300 million Shia Muslims across the world, Iran is a spiritual center. And Khamenei wasn't just a head of state, he was a religious symbol, a divine authority, a voice that millions believed was chosen by God. So when the news of his death broke, it didn't just shake Tehran, it shook the entire Muslim world. Streets in Isfahan and Tehran flooded with millions, every voice, one single cry: take revenge, take revenge, take revenge. But this fire didn't stop at Iran's borders. Across the world, from the streets of Lebanon to Pakistan, from London's East End to the suburbs in Detroit, protests erupted, crowds chanting "Death to America." This tells you something crucial. Khamenei's influence was never bound by geography. He wasn't just a man, he was a movement. And when a movement is wounded, the rage doesn't just simmer, it explodes. But here's a question that changes everything. Is all of Iran actually mourning? Because when Khamenei's death was confirmed, 2 completely different pictures emerged from inside the country. Picture 1, state television playing mourning hymns on loop, news anchors weeping on air, millions in black flooding public squares. Genuine grief, raw, visible, overwhelming. Picture 2, rooftops lit up with fireworks, people whispering celebrations behind closed doors, young Iranian women standing in front of cameras saying, "I love you, Donald Trump." Some Iranians dancing, laughing, hugging strangers, celebrating what they're calling the end of decades of dictatorship. This is the reality of Iran right now, a nation split down the middle, half in mourning, half in relief. And this brings us to the most important question of all. Can a divided Iran unite to take revenge? Because revenge requires unity. Revenge requires sacrifice. And right now, Iran is anything but united. Khamenei didn't just leave behind a grieving nation, he left behind a power vacuum. His daughter, gone. His military commanders, gone. The inner circle that ran this country for years, gone. The question Iran's political establishment is scrambling to answer right now is, who sits on the throne? The name being whispered in the corridors of power is Mujtaba Khamenei, the supreme leader's own son. He has the loyalty of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. He has deep ties with the intelligence apparatus. He's believed to have been quietly groomed for years. On paper, he's the most powerful man left standing. But there's a massive problem. The Islamic Republic was built on the rejection of monarchy. When the Shah was overthrown in 1979, the revolution's most sacred promise was no more ruling dynasties, no more kingdoms. Handing power to Khamenei's own son would be a direct betrayal of that promise. It could spark internal rebellion. It could fracture the Revolutionary Guard. It could turn ally against ally. And if Iran's leadership is fighting amongst itself, every plan for revenge dies before it even begins. There's another reality here. The United States has made itself crystal clear. Take one more step and we finish what we started. Today.
let's talk about the hard truth. Iran has the anger, Iran has the crowds, Iran has the grief, but anger doesn't win wars. Weapons win wars. Money wins wars. Strategy wins wars. And on every one of those fronts, Iran is severely outmatched. Iran's economy has been crippled by decades of international sanctions. Inflation is crushing ordinary citizens. The currency has collapsed. The middle class is bleeding. A prolonged military conflict against the United States, Iran simply cannot sustain it. So here's what Iran will almost certainly do instead. 2 words: shadow war. Iran's greatest strength has never been its conventional military. Iran's greatest strength is its network of proxy forces across the Middle East. Hezbollah in Lebanon, battle-hardened, heavily armed, deeply loyal. The Houthis in Yemen, already firing missiles at international shipping lanes. Armed militias scattered across Iraq and Syria. These are Iran's invisible hands. These are the weapons that can bleed America and Israel without Iran ever officially declaring war. Iran can disrupt oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, choking global energy supplies overnight. It can launch drone strikes on American military bases. It can destabilize neighboring countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, without firing a single missile from Tehran. This is the playbook Iran knows best. But is this enough to call it revenge for the death of a supreme leader? That is the question tearing Iran apart right now. And now we get to the part that should terrify every single person watching this: the nuclear question. Inside Iran's hardline establishment, a dangerous idea is gaining ground, and that idea is this: if we had nuclear weapons, they never would have dared to do this. Khamenei's death has supercharged this thinking. For Iran's most radical voices, building a nuclear bomb is no longer ambition, it is survival. They watched what happened to Saddam Hussein. No nuclear weapons, regime destroyed. They watched what happened to Muammar Gaddafi, gave up his nuclear program, killed. And now they've watched their own supreme leader assassinated on his own soil. The lesson they're drawing is brutal and simple. The only countries America doesn't touch are the ones with nuclear weapons. But here's why this is the most dangerous moment in decades. Israel right now is in its most aggressive posture in years. If Iran moves even slightly towards nuclear capability, Israel will strike Iran's nuclear facilities from the air. The United States Navy already has Iran surrounded. One miscalculation, one wrong move, one desperate decision made in Tehran at 3 a.m., and we're not talking about a regional conflict anymore. We're talking about a war that pulls in Russia, China, NATO, a war with no clean ending. And here's why this matters to you, whether you're watching from New York, London, Toronto, or Sydney. The Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway Iran controls, carries nearly 20% of the world's oil supply. If Iran blocks it, even for a week, oil prices don't just rise, they spike to levels we haven't seen in decades. Fuel prices, food prices, shipping costs, everything goes up. You feel it at the gas pump, you feel it at the grocery store. A war thousands of miles away lands right in your household budget. Beyond economics, there's the refugee question. A full-scale war in the Middle East would trigger displacement on a scale that would dwarf anything we saw in 2015. Europe would face a migration crisis unlike anything in living memory. We are living through a moment that historians will write about. The question is, will they write about how the world pulled back from the edge, or how it didn't? So, let's come back to where we started. Will Iran strike back? The honest answer is we don't know yet. What we do know is this: Iran is standing at the most dangerous crossroads in its modern history. One eye filled with grief, one eye burning with rage. A nation split between those who want revolution and those who want revenge. A leadership scrambling to survive, an economy that can't sustain a war, a military that knows it can't beat America head-on. And yet, grief is a powerful force, humiliation is a powerful force, and a nation that has just watched its supreme leader killed on his own soil is a nation that may not make rational decisions. Khamenei spent his entire life refusing to bow to America. He chose defiance over diplomacy, right up until the end. The question now is whether the people who loved him will honor that legacy with words or with fire. The next 24 to 48 hours will tell us which direction history turns. But one thing is certain, the world will never look the same after this. We are not just watching the news anymore. We are watching history being written in real time.